Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi, on sign language, Elizabeth Nakakoni. Let us dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has flagged off Uganda's team to the Paris 2024 Olympics. He was accompanied by the First Lady, who is also Minister for Education and Sports, at State House Entebbe.
The Olympics, which are arguably the most glorious multi-sport event in the world, are just 10 days away. Uganda will be represented by 25 athletes who have been flagged off by President Yoweri Museveni at State House Entebbe. He spoke the 9 benefits of sports, including employment creation, character formation, fitness, entertainment and publicity to the nation, which can only be achieved with discipline.
Character formation. Sports persons don't give up, because when you are running or doing whatever you are doing, there is always a temptation, Nkoye, why don't I am tired, why don't I stop here? But then the other spirit says, no, you must win. Now that's very good training, character formation. Some of the sports teach you how to cooperate. Even this running, you can see how to cooperate within your team, how to coordinate, who sets the pace, who remains behind, like that. But some of the sports like football, the cooperation is more decisive.
The president promised his continued advocacy for free education, which is the fastest route to create a bigger catchment to scout talent. The realist that the president is acknowledged the little government has done for sports, but highlighted provision of peace in Sebei region as a conduit that has grown sport. He promised more infrastructure to attract the youth into sports and also advised Ministry of Health to emphasize nutrition for the right physique that improves competition.
So, just peace for now, peace. Then the school, going to the school, the primary school, because that's how people come up. The education, which is not totally yet free, but we really want to make it free education. We have been struggling for that. Some people have been bringing back charges, but we want to really make it free. We shall succeed, because that's how many children come up in the school system. And then we identify them. So the moment Mama is able to implement free education, in the next few years, we shall have bigger catchment area. Then, the sports facilities that we have not done much. Yes, we have built the high altitude school. That one is good. But that is for people who have already come up, who have already shown talent. Now, when we really start spreading out the sports infrastructure, we shall capture more young people.
The flag-off was graced by the First Lady, who is also Education and Sports Minister, Janet Museveni, whose wise counsel dwelt on encouragement.
So I challenge you to take on this role of being ambassadors of your country with such humility, because someone else could have taken your place on this team. But God chose that this be your season to glorify Him with your body through sports. If you clothe yourself with the humility that such a service requires, you shall be able to resist the pride that comes with such an opportunity, and we all know what pride can do to us. It simply brings us down.
Uganda will at the Olympics that start on 26 July till 11th August be represented by 25 athletes. These include 21 runners led by team captain Joshua Cheptegei and include cyclists Charles Kajimu, rower Kathleen Noble, and 2 swimmers Jace Sengonzi and Gloria Muzito. At the last Olympics, Uganda won 4 medals including 2 gold, a silver and bronze, while the proud East African nation has garnered 11 medals since its first Olympics in 1956.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has signed 19 bills into law. He assented to the bills on Monday at State House, Nakasero. Meanwhile, 2 bills, the National Commission for UNESCO Amendment Act 2024, Amendment Bill rather, and the Higher Education Students Financing Amendment Bill 2024 were returned and signed. The bills signed are Uganda Wildlife Authority Amendment Act 2024, Uganda Registration Services Bureau Amendment Act, Registration of Persons Amendment Act, Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council Repeal Act, the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Act, the Children Amendment Act 2024, National Youth Council Amendment Act 2024, Persons with Disabilities Amendment Act, the National Women's Council Amendment Act, National Council for Older Persons Amendment Act, National Non-Governmental Organizations Amendment Act 2024, National Library Amendment Act 2024, National Planning Authority Amendment Act, National Population Council Repeal Act 2024, Physical Planning Amendment Act, Value-Added Tax Amendment Act, Tax Procedures Code Amendment Act 2024, the Stamp Duty Amendment Act 2024, and finally the Income Tax Amendment Act 2024. Now, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabbanja, has informed global leaders that Uganda, through extensive national and sub-national consultations, has developed 6 strategic commitments to accelerate the implementation of sustainable development goals. Nabbanja was addressing a high-level political forum during the 11th meeting at the United Nations headquarters in New York.
Nabbanja stated that government will integrate the commitments into the 4th National Development Plan 2025-2030, which aligns with the conclusion of the SDGs in 2030, enhance national and local financing mechanisms, strengthen partnerships for localized SDG efforts, including citizen participation, and fortify the national statistical systems.
Looking ahead, Uganda remains resolute in 1. Identifying synergies among SDGs, 2. Leveraging technological innovation, 3. Value addition in the vast tourism, mineral and agricultural endowments through fostering partnerships and regional cooperation.
Together with the Minister of Justice for Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, and the Chairperson, Uganda Planning Authority, Professor Pamela Mbabazi, Nabbanja addressed all the issues raised by different countries. She informed world leaders about Uganda's mechanisms to tackle adverse weather and climate challenges.
Uganda has a Climate Change Act and a climate change policy which provide direction to all sectors that are affected by climate change. The interventions include early warning systems, resettlement of disaster-prone communities, wetland restoration, and tree planting, and this is ongoing. Uganda has prioritized the agro-industrialization programs for increased production, productivity through mechanization and irrigation, value addition, marketing, and strengthening food systems, which are core to addressing hunger.
Justice Minister Norbert Mao responded to concerns on civic space raised by civil society organizations. He explained that Uganda is governed under the Constitution.
First and foremost, these civil society organizations are largely led by Ugandans. So their rights are embedded in the Constitution, and they exercise those rights as citizens
Earlier, the Prime Minister made a statement on behalf of the G77, assuring world leaders of the commitment to attain the SDGs.
It stresses the importance of fully implementing the Secretary General's proposal for the SDG stimulus for developing countries to tackle the high cost of debt and rising risks of debt distress.
Nabanja affirmed that G77 China will support all efforts aimed at achieving the 2030 agenda.
The group of 77 and China emphasizes that we must prioritize advancing the full implementation of the 2030 agenda by translating the commitments agreed upon during the 2023 SDG Summit Political Declaration into concrete actions that fully support developing countries in their efforts to achieve the SDGs.
The Prime Minister also held bilateral talks with the President of the United Nations General Assembly.
The last one.
And government has presented a plan to enact a comprehensive land law to regulate and reduce land evictions. This will include the amendment of the Land Act, in which government seeks to capitalize the land fund. Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomosi, communicated cabinet resolutions reached out during the Chankwanzi retreat.
The retreat at Chankwanzi by members of the executive was centered on deliberating matters of national importance. Matters of land, especially grabbing and evictions, were some of the most prominent issues on the agenda.
And through the 1900 agreement, as you all recall from your primary and secondary school history lessons, that agreement resulted or created the Mile land system. And actually when we talk of land evictions, land grabbing, the question of land, it largely rotates around the Mile land, which is mainly here in central Uganda, which was a creation of the colonial administration.
A resolution to amend the Land Act to address land-related setbacks was reached during the cabinet retreat.
We resolved to enact a comprehensive law regarding land evictions. Yes, we have laws, but we are going to study these laws, look at where the gaps are, and come up with a comprehensive law on the issue of land evictions. We are also going to amend the existing Land Act to provide for an option of the Vibanja owners, the tenants, to pay the nominal rent, the busuru, to the sub-county.
In doing so, this will sterilize land controversies as a breeding ground for corruption, which has become synonymous with some public offices in Uganda.
It is evidence that many people have been charged, prosecuted, including high-profile officials in this country. So the insinuation that because there is a renewed fight, therefore government has just woken up, is not correct. Government has been on the alert in the fight against corruption, but there is an observation that there is a growing tendency of indiscipline and impunity in the public service and the visible elements of corruption. So we had an extensive discussion over this issue.
Bariomusi revealed plans to support the Inspectorate of Government to probe people's lifestyles.
We are going to strengthen these agencies and empower them, support them to be able to do their work effectively. We also resolved to introduce the practice of name and shame of the corrupt and expeditiously prosecute whoever is accused of corruption, particularly once there is evidence. So we shall be now publishing names, the name and shame of those who are engaged in corruption, irrespective of the position that you hold in society.
The week-long cabinet retreat was presided over by the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Matters related to taxation, budget financing, and resource mobilization were also discussed, concluded, and adopted. Henry Okrut, UBC.
State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Balam Byargahara, has commissioned Grace Vocational Training School in Entebbe, Wakiso District. During the commissioning, the minister urged the youth to embrace skills training other than focus on formal jobs which have stiff competition.
This is Grace Vocational Training School in Weringa, Entebbe, Wakiso District. Constructed by A1 Bishop Williams Beshisha, the center is majorly imparting skills mainly in the fields of carpentry, saloon, among others. To the proprietor, this is a dream come true.
If anyone wants either say in carpentry or in welding, because not people are building. This is when now many factories are coming here, so people are building. So that we need really these people into existence. And then I saw that, I thought actually that we could come with that, a way out, like a solution. And we bless the Lord that now it has come where now it is today.
Yeah, the challenge is quite big, though vocationals have now started coming up because of this program of the DIT. But we've always been having a lot of secondary schools, primary schools, and people underlook to start the schools.
It has been commissioned by the Youth and Children Affairs Minister, Dr. Balam Byargahara. For Balam commits on behalf of government to continue supporting skills training.
So once you skill people, they can survive, they can create employment for themselves. So as government, we pledge to support him to ensure that his institute is registered by the Ministry of Education. Also under our Juakali project, I pledge on behalf of the Ministry of Gender to identify 1 or 2 items that we can donate to the school.
Mr. Balam, however, reminded the local community to embrace government poverty alleviation programs, which are now at most doorsteps.
Let us participate in entrepreneurship. Let us take part in the PDM, Parish Development Model. The 1 million you earn, if you have learned how to do hairdressing, hairdresser doesn't need a room. Hairdresser needs a mirror, you sit under a tree, and you plait someone's hair, and a mat and a small stool. Do you need more than 1 million? 1 million you can hairdress 20 people. How much money can you make? So it is high time young people embrace the PDM cash.
I'm Robert Anyango and Sule Kagugube for UBC News.
Permanent Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, has released the first quarter funds for the financial year 2024-25 to various government institutions. 5.89 trillion shillings has been released to various entities to facilitate government operations.
The discretionary budget for this financial year is 27.67 trillion shillings, with 5.899 trillion shillings released for the first quarter. 8 trillion is expected from development partners.
Some of the key highlights of the released per category in this quarter include 1.990 trillion shillings to cater for wages, 323.50 billion shillings for pension and gratuity, 308.75 billion shillings to local governments, including capitation grants, 95.26 billion to all public universities, 43.77 billion for examination bodies, 100.58 billion for all missions abroad, 124.63 billion shillings to the National Council of Sports. Parliament has been allocated 153.60 billion shillings, among others. Gobi provided an overview of the current economic state, noting that Uganda's economy has experienced a robust recovery. The gross domestic product growth for financial year 2023-24 was recorded at 6%, a significant increase from the previous average of 4%.
This impressive growth, on account of higher growth in all sectors, can be attributed to, number one, the service sector, which grew by 6.6%,
up from 5.9% the previous year, while industry grew by 5.8%, up from 4% the previous year.
Starting this fiscal year, government will prioritize agro-industry, tourism, mineral development, and science for strong economic development. Civil society representatives called on the ministry to explain the execution of the 72 trillion shillings budget, particularly in planning for the increased population, estimated at 46 million people.
Are we prepared to provide funding for the 11.3 million people whom the census, the UBOS has, the numbers that UBOS has provided, or you need to make some changes in the budget to cater for these extra millions of people that have been put in place?
The fight against corruption. We are glad and we are happy with what we are seeing, but we hope that this does not repeat in this financial year. That this time around, moving into this financial year, that the cases of corruption that we'll be having are the cases from the previous financial years.
Addressing concerns about domestic debt, Gobi assured those in attendance that the approach is now more sustainable and expressed confidence in the substantial budget, urging Ugandans not to worry. Wadulo Mark Arnold, UBC News.
And the Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF, has commenced the recruitment drive targeting scientists and professionals at the Land Force headquarters in Bombo, Luwero district. Now, the exercise follows the conclusion of the recent recruitment of senior 4 leavers. Let's take a look.
In this category, we are taking on the professionals, which fall in the following categories. We are taking aircraft operators, pilots, mechanical engineers, automotive engineers, cyber security, computer sciences, computer forensics. We're also taking on electrical engineering, telecom engineering, computer engineering, heavy engineering equipment operators, electrical installations. We're also taking on senior 6 sciences, computers, plumbers, mansions. We are also taking on fabricators, painters, heavy equipment mechanics. That's the group we are taking on this.
The reason we are here is to choose the best out of you, basing on physical fitness and medical fitness, so that you serve your country like you have showed interest. It's the best decision you've made in life. Not anyone could make it here, but you have made it here, and we congratulate you, and you will surely make part of the best teams in this country, okay? Today we shall basically look at your skin before you run. We shall look at simple things. Then later on you'll spend the whole day being examined. By the end of the day, possibly you'll be in one of our best military training schools.
You don't have the teeth. Some of you have rotten teeth. We end here. Okay? Anyone who has a tattoo?
This one, for you stand here. Skin infection, eh? Therapeutic marks.
This, when did you get this?
As a child? Open your mouth. Right. Come here, I take your name before you go. Why are you putting your tongue?
Don't put the tongue there.
You man, are you from here?
Okay.
Come, I kick you. I clear you fast.
Your teeth. Go there.
Interesting. Now, the federal government of Nigeria has reaffirmed its ongoing commitment to support the Ugandan education sector with specialized professionals during the handover of a group of 15 professionals to the Ugandan Ministry of Education and Sports. Acting Nigerian High Commissioner to Uganda, Fentalo Adebowale, mentioned ongoing research to identify specific disciplines in demand.
15 Nigerian professionals have been handed over to the Ugandan Ministry of Education and Sports for deployment at 2 universities, which is Islamic University in Uganda and Kabale University. They are part of Nigeria's Technical Aid Corps scheme aimed at supporting education in African, Caribbean and Pacific countries.
but by extension, they have attracted grants which are global in nature and has been to the benefit of humankind and humanity in general. So having said this, the Nigerian Technical Aid Corps Scheme seeks ways of collaboration with institutions such as universities, hospitals, and other government agencies.
During the handover, the acting Nigerian High Commissioner to Uganda, Fehitino Adebowale, emphasized the abundant job market in Africa as the rationale behind deploying these professionals. Adebowale pledged to continue research to identify education needs across Africa.
These are carefully selected, skilled professionals in engineering, in agricultural sciences, management sciences, and other sphere of endeavor from the best and the very best of our institutions in Nigeria.
The Ministry of Education and Sports affirmed its commitment to collaborating with the federal government of Nigeria to facilitate the transfer of skills and knowledge.
I regularly get to know the support that these institutions have been getting over time from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is my prayer that even the new team that is coming is going to give us the very best, just like the previous teams have.
These professionals will be assigned to Kabale University and Islamic University in Uganda. Previous cohorts under this scheme have received commendation from these universities for their service.
We really appreciate your coming here. Your Excellency, IUIU would not be what it is if it wasn't for TAC, honestly. You have done a very good job for us. You have trained us. I was told by TAC members.
This group marks the second cohort deployed since the beginning of the year. The managers of the Technical Aid Corps scheme are planning to deploy science professionals, particularly in the fields of petroleum and mining. Abdul Nasir Lobwama and Rogers Komagun for UBC.
NRM youth in Masaka district affiliated with the party named Bazukulu Bajaja have launched an anti-corruption campaign called Mega Uliwenguzi. The campaign is led by Justin Namere, a presidential advisor and chief advisor to the president on Masaka affairs. They believe that corruption has escalated and transcends party lines. Namere emphasized that corruption knows no political boundaries and is detrimental to the entire country.
President Museveni, Your Excellency President Museveni, as we mobilize Ugandans to join as one in the fight against corruption, we humbly implore you to exercise and engage consistency in this fight against corruption and embezzlement, to engage in equality, to engage equality. We humbly implore you, Your Excellency President Museveni, our Judge, the father of the nation, the father of East Africa, the patron of Africa. We humbly beg you to exercise utmost consistency and equality in the big fight and noble fight against corruption. You look at Lubigi and so many other places, the poor are being chased away, houses are being demolished, people are being arrested for destroying nature, for going into areas that are secured by NEMA. But here in Greater Masaka, your ministers, one of your ministers, the very culprits who go around telling people someone can steal and it is okay as long as they throw some breadcrumbs at you. The same people are destroying wetlands, getting sand to go and build lodges. When the police takes action, the wananchi came up and grabbed the workers and took them to police and called upon police to take action. The same minister managed to scare workers, to scare the wananchi, to scare the policemen. Everybody's scared, everybody's hiding under beds. This discourages Ugandans in the fight against corruption. It is inequality, is a very big discouragement. Nobody should be above the law.
And the focus on child health has evolved from survival to fostering, where children less than 5 years old can thrive. The demand for better health care in Uganda has significantly increased, with 25 million patient visits annually and 2 million of these in Kampala alone.
There is a rising demand for better health services, although the high costs remain a concern. Parents sometimes may opt for insurance or savings schemes for their children's health care.
As Jubilee Health Insurance, we are always looking out to satisfy the needs, the various needs of our customers in terms of extending products that satisfy their needs. We realized that there was a gap in terms of access to medical care amongst children. And we identified this through the extensive research that we did, through the parents that were coming to us to inquire about these products.
Jubilee Insurance has introduced the G Junior Medical Insurance for Children. Although fewer parents are insured through corporate companies, their children often are not, or the coverage is limited to a fewer children.
So why we developed J Junior Medical Insurance is because a lot of parents may be insured through their companies, for those working for corporate companies, but these corporate companies do not, some of them do not extend coverage to dependents. So while the parent is insured, the children are not. In other cases, the parents may be insured along with their children, but the number is limited to 2 children or 3, and some parents have 4, 5, 6 children. So some children are left out.
The emerging health complications affecting children could be treated with timely interventions, although lack of immediate access to quality medical care exacerbates the issues.
We also have our colleagues, those who are in the diaspora, working very hard and remitting back some of the income they make. But what happens is that as they are working, they get phone calls that, oh, your child is sick, your child is sick. And the instinct is to take the child to a place which may not have qualified people to treat them. With this product, the person in the diaspora can buy a policy and have a peace of mind that at any time that their child gets a medical emergency, they can be taken to one of the 320 service providers which have the top pediatricians in this market for medical care.
Mary Namkose, Sodat Kaye, UBC News.
Amanya gange nze Namutebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde, nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyennyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere, weewaawo abafere gye bali, naye ennamba eri emu yokka, era bw'eba ekukubidde omanye eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo 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 era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable. Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Hi, my name is Rachel Obituary and I am a Ugandan actress and the winner of the Africa Monologue Challenge 2023. Now, thanks to your immense support, the Africa Monologue Challenge Season 2 is coming to Uganda between July 25th and August 20th. Africa Monologue Challenge is looking for passionate Ugandan storytellers to take part in a Pan-African short film that will showcase Uganda to the rest of the world. To be a part of this, all you have to do is weave a captivating narrative that captures Uganda's cultural heritage while fostering connections between 10 diverse individuals from 10 African countries. This short film will be shared to over 50 film festivals. Now, to find information on the AMC 2024 finalists, visit www.africamonologue.com. Please submit your short script, which should be 10 pages for a short film between 10 to 15 minutes, to africamonologue@gmail.com before 30th June 2024. Now, let's talk about rewards. The selected script will have the writer's full name in the end credits. You will get a chance to collaborate with amazing filmmakers from all over the world. You will get a small token for your creativity, and you remain with full ownership of your script. Let's work together to create a Pan-African film that will echo African stories throughout the world.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Now in business, dairy farmers have been advised to provide food supplements to animals during the dry season to have constant milk supply. But as milk processors declare low-fat milk due to poor feeding of animals and adulteration by farmers as they attempt to increase milk quality and earn more money. Unlike in the rainy seasons, milk production in the dry season is cut by almost half due to lack of green pastures and water.
Dairy farmers in the cattle corridor continue to register decline in milk production due to the ongoing dry spell. The decline in milk volumes has not only affected the incomes of the farmers, but also processors.
For example, if a processing facility has been receiving 1,150 liters of milk per day, we are realizing they are receiving around 120, 130 liters because of the low production and low collections. So, and the dry season is still intensifying.
Jonan Tomusime, the quality controller at Lakeside Dairies, says the supply of low-density milk has had a toll on them since they have to incur huge costs in standardizing milk to boost its fat content.
They will do neutralization test, they will check the fat, they will check the resazolin, they will check the heat stability test and others. But when they find that the milk is qualifying all those tests, or it is passing all those tests, it will be received. But when we find the milk is not passing those tests, we will not take the milk because the quality will not be good for us.
Kindly asking the public, milk vendors, milk traders, processors, whoever is involved in the milk collection and marketing, please desist from adulterating the milk with unnecessary materials.
Statistics indicate that Western region contributes about 46% of the national total milk supply, but this changes whenever the dry spell sets in. Dairy farmers are therefore encouraged to invest in fodder conservation during the rainy season, which comes in handy in the dry season.
Farmers, they should make sure they feed their animals very well, they give them enough water, and they make sure that the utensils which they use in milking, they should be clean, and they should put the milk to the chilling center in time. They shouldn't delay, because in this dry season, when they delay to take the milk to the chilling center, the milk will go bad. Then the final results after checking the milk, it will not pass, like resazolin and alcohol test, and the smell also will change.
Sudat Kaye and Ambrose Muhumuza, UBC News.
And to back it up a bit, teachers from Greater Luero have urged the government to revise the current feeding policy in schools by including midday meals in the capitation grant. This request comes in response to alarming dropout rates in Greater Luero, which have forced students into child labor. Educators hope this will be considered in the new education policy set to replace that of 1992. They voiced their concerns at the Education Policy Review Commission during consultations in Uganda region.
Despite the government policy requiring parents to provide meals for their children, the educators say implementation is still inconsistent. Some parents comply, while others neglect this responsibility, leaving it with the government.
In public schools, government should find a fund, like on capitational grants, it is added there for feeding the children. That one remains still hanging. Parents, have we made research that parents are provided? More often than not, they have not.
I think, because even the UPE you're talking about is inadequate as we talk, so unless it is increased to capture.
Dr. Curious to the Agenda, an educational commissioner of 40 years of teaching experience, expressed disappointment in schools that do not harness students' potential, emphasizing that schools should support slow learners.
School heads who are here, who are representing others, really, how can a child, I listened to one of you telling me how a child goes, can finish 7 years and then is not graded. How can you then put on your coat the next day and call yourself a head teacher? When you have had a child in your school for 7 years and this child finishes a level and remains ungraded, it's unacceptable, it's immoral, it's unprofessional.
Some educators argue that feeding students should remain a parental duty, warning that government could easily be overwhelmed if parents expect it to handle everything.
That business of saying bana ba Museveni, we want to abolish that statement. Abazadde babeerenga basobola okufuna okuliisa abaana baabwe, whereby the country is able to achieve and to reach a certain goal and a certain peak.
The government would have taken up the role, but this is, I think, will make the parents lazy. These are their children. They have to see to it that the children feed at school. The government also has enormous inputs it is giving us. It pays the teachers, it constructs classes.
Luero Secondary School, nestled in the heart of Luero town, is grappling with significant challenges as it strives to provide quality education to its over 1,400 students. Despite its bustling population, the school operates with only 3 functional laboratories, a stark contrast to the needs of its expansive student body. Even more concerning is the situation for the 160-plus ICT A-level students who must share a mere 26 functional computers out of a total of 42.
However, we have only 3 functional labs which cannot accommodate. If you are to do a practical, it would be a subject per particular period of time. So it is very challenging. We have to use the main hall to do practicals, and it means lifting equipment.
Out of the 42 pieces which we have, only 26 are working. And of the 26 which are working, as you have seen, some of them once you put on, the lesson cannot end without going off.
The ongoing education policy consultations will form the new education policy that will replace the 1992 government white paper.
Actually, the policies are there, but maybe like any other policy, the enforcement of these policies. But I think we are trying.
Crispus, Arinitwe, UBC News.
And now in sports, Vipers Sports Club President Lawrence Mulindwa has launched the Vipers Day, which is earmarked to usher the team into the upcoming new season.
The 27th day of July 2024 will go down as a special one for Vipers Sports Club members, being that the club president Lawrence Mulindwa has announced it as the Vipers Day.
So we have set 27th of July in the year of our Lord 2024 as the date for Vipers Day. To be a Saturday next week on Saturday.
He expects it to be a memorable occasion that will portray the welcoming nature of the club, with fans' interaction with administrators, punctuated by introduction of players they are going to use for the next season.
Because I know what it takes to have a club in place and what it costs, those ones who have sacrificed the Mandelas and others, I know what it means to have the club standing, paying their salaries, transporting the club to Tanzania or whatever. I know what it means. So whoever sacrifices and puts in something for the growth of the club and Ugandan football, I respect that person. So we have those well-wishers who, they may not be necessarily our fans, but they want to see football grow. People appreciate that Vipers can have a stadium when Kenya does not have one, approved by CAF. I don't know whether you're following. You didn't see Burundi, Kenya, Southern Sudan, Ethiopia. Some of those countries I saw when they brought the list. I saw in Uganda approved Nambole Stadium on Saturday is dead. This will have some games. It's on record. So someone will just come and appreciate it. That is enough. Because how many people have money and they have been able to do something similar to this? It is a sacrifice.
The day will also feature a friendly game against one of the most prolific football clubs on the African continent, while the fans will play against former players.
We wanted to have this date because the team that want to play with would have had it in August. But to have the Super 8, which is beginning in the first week of August, and we don't want to disorganize that one. So we want to have it before, so that these teams can settle.
As if that isn't good enough, the club will use the day to honor the men that ascended it to glory during its days as Bunamwaya, and also reward long-time sponsors.
For us as marketing, we're looking at this as a very big day, not only for us as Vipers, but also to the football family. We're looking at this day as the day when we're going to meet and network and celebrate the achievements for us as Vipers, the wins, the challenges and the lessons we picked, and interact with our fans and thank them for being part of this growing family. Doctor forgot to mention that Vipers has got the biggest fan base. The fastest growing fan base in this country definitely belongs to this institution.
The next Uganda Premier League season is expected to start in September, but will be preceded by the FIFA Super 8 next month.
And the 2024 Uganda Secondary School Sports Association Balls Games 2 have finalized the penultimate day in Soroti district.
All is set for an explosive final day at the 2024 Uganda Secondary School Sports Association Ball Games 2. All the disciplines are witnessing their final games, with netball having a Wakiso derby between St. Mary's Kitende against eternal rivals Budo SS.
It was a very good, it was a very nice game, but on St. Mary's Kitende we endure very much. So when it came out on the first half, it was tough, but in our team talks, our coaches were good.
In basketball, 3x3, Napisonsa girls that eliminated St. Mary's Kitende will play St. Noah, while the boys' final has Budo SS against Imbogo. In handball, the boys' final will be between Wampe Wantare School, while Kawanda SS faces Imbogo for the girls' trophy.
And we have managed to win. It has not been an easy game, but we have managed. We stuck on our plan and we achieved what we planned for.
In volleyball, reigning champion St. Elizabeth faced Bukedia Comprehensive School among the girls, with the Bukedia Comprehensive Schools returning in the boys' final against Namugongo Secondary and Vocational School.
We came with a target of taking this trophy, and we have worked so hard to make sure that we get where we are. Our round of 16 was not easy, the quarterfinal has not been easy, but we thank God that we have made it.
The athletics finals will be contested in the 19 zones that form Uganda Secondary Schools Sports Association. This tournament is a qualifier for the Federation of East Africa Secondary School Sports Association Games due next month at Bukedia Comprehensive School.
And in today's sports highlights, we look at SC Villa's chances of progressing in the Sikafa Club Cup. An update on the national women's basketball team, the Gazelles, camping in Germany, and on the international scene, Gareth Southgate stepping down from the England men's national team, while Kylian Mbappe is unveiled as Real Madrid player. Much more in the details.
Ugandan local club SC Villa only managed a 1-1 draw with Rwandan champions APR in their final game of the Sekafa Club Cup tournament. A win would have earned them an automatic place in the semi-finals. This draw leaves Villa on 5 points, 2 behind APR, who qualify for the semi-final as outright winners from Group C. Villa will hope Asas Telecom hold or beat the guest team for them to qualify for the semi-final. We at SC Villa needed to win our game. We had a decent performance. We did everything we could. Now we have to wait for the other teams to play and see if we qualify. In Germany, the women's national basketball team, the Gazelles, have embarked on a journey in Frankfurt for a high-performance training camp that will run until the 25th of July. This camp will help them prepare for the 2025 FIBA Zone 5 Women's Afro Basketball qualifiers scheduled for February 2025.
Objective of this training camp, as I told already, is like that we get to know each other better, me with the assistant coaches, with the team, with the organization, that we use these 10 days to work hard to set up some defensive and offensive rules, which we're going to play hopefully in February for this qualification, official qualification windows. Beside these trainings we're going to have in these 10 days, upcoming days, we'll have this very good test, 2 games against Republic of Ireland national team, which are competing in Europe. I think that would be good for our girls to see, because most of the time until now they played against African teams. Now they'll have chance to play against European team, which is different type of basketball, I would say, to feel that experience also, and that will help in total the team becomes better. I will try to use all this time, about these 10 days, that we all together grow up and become better for the goals which are in front of us in February.
I'm so excited for the first day of practice. It was really good. The coach is really good, and I love the way he explains things direct and open. And for the whole team, it's really good. The new players, I've seen Paige. She can really shoot the ball, and that's really exciting. And leave everyone like, I think it has been on, we have been on an advantage that back home we're in our playoffs already. So we came and due to that we are already fit. The running, so we are really sprinting hard and fast. And I'm really excited, and I believe it's a good time, and we are good to go. Yeah, we thank the management, and the people back home for the support and encouragement. And we promise to come back home better, and we promise to be ready come February.
In England, the men's national football team manager Gareth Southgate has resigned 2 days after a defeat by Spain in the 2024 European Championship final. The Three Lions lost 2-1 in Berlin on Sunday, their second consecutive Euros final defeat, having been beaten on penalties by Italy at Wembley 3 years ago. Southgate, 53, managed his country for 102 games in 8 years in charge and stated that he gave it his all and that it was time for a change and for a new chapter. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has joined everyone today in thanking Gareth on X and his team for all that they have achieved and for laying the foundations for future success.
Just as a big family as we are. 1, 2, 3.
Meanwhile, in Madrid, Spain, French striker Kylian Mbappe has joined Real Madrid. The 26-year-old former PSG star was unveiled today at the Santiago Bernabeu in front of a sold-out crowd of 80,000 fans. Florentino Perez introduced the Galacticos' latest forward, who will wear the shirt number 9. Kylian Mbappe traveled with his family and was joined by Madrid legend Zinedine Zidane during his presentation. This story was compiled by Marsha Mira Victor, Amon Gabo, and Grace Joyce Kemegisha, reporting for UBC News.
And that does it for tonight. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the hour. Elizabeth Nakakuni on Sign Language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
It is with great sadness that we announce the passing on of one of our staff, Mr. Stephen Aguma, who has been the manager for our Bondibujo best radio station, Voice of Bondibujo. We extend our deepest condolences to his family, friends, staff of Voice of Bondibujo, and all those who knew and loved him. Burial will take place at his ancestral home in Nadule 1 village, Njule Parish, Bobandi Sub-County, Bondibujo district at 4 p.m. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Coming soon on UBC.
Welcome to Inside Broadcasting, sharing with you the process behind what you see on the screens.
My name is Lorraine Masika Kazimoto.
Step behind the scenes and witness the magic that brings your daily broadcasts to life.
That's why I come out openly to actually tell you that I'm an investigative journalist, that even when you see me here, I'm actually investigating you guys. So you should be aware about that.
Experience the hustle, the heart, and the human stories of our on and off-air staff.
I see my phone ringing and I'm like, ooh, which number is this? I hear the president on the other line.
The president of the Republic of Uganda.
Of Uganda, yes.
Be inspired, amazed, and part of the journey that powers Uganda's most captivating TV and radio moments.
Because good broadcast comes down to an individual. They should be artistic.
This is Inside Broadcasting.
Inside Broadcasting.
Inside Broadcasting with Mark Wadula.
Coming soon on UBC.
The East African Community is a political and economic bloc now comprising of 7 countries. The political narratives indicate a strong community but not much evidence on the economic front. No commonality of currency, no commonality of taxes, no commonality of movement of goods. In West Africa, 3 countries are breaking off the ECOWAS bloc, and not many years ago, we saw the British exit the European Union. How viable is the community in the face of the global changing political landscape? Timothy Nyangweso will host a panel of distinguished experts to share their thoughts on the future of the political and economic blocs. Only on your weekly favorite program, Behind the Headlines.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Be amazed the hidden treasure in a woman of substance.
S4, still, father buys me the first car, a brand new.
Their experiences.
Yeah, they would bully my eyes. They were so big, I was so skinny, I was so tall.
And into the women they've become. Be inspired by their transformation and their stories.
I had to take Mama Nakaunde and Dr. Bossa at home.
Super Soul Sisters, only on UBC TV.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The East African Community is a political and economic bloc now comprising of 7 countries. The political narratives indicate a strong community but not much evidence on the economic front. No commonality of currency, no commonality of taxes, no commonality of movement of goods. In West Africa, 3 countries are breaking off the ECOWAS bloc, and not many years ago, we saw the British exit the European Union. How viable is the community in the face of the global changing political landscape? Timothy Nyangweso will host a panel of distinguished experts to share their thoughts on the future of the political and economic blocs. Only on your weekly favorite program, Behind the Headlines.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Be amazed the hidden treasure in a woman of substance.
S4, still, father buys me the first car, a brand new.
Their experiences.
Yeah, they would bully my eyes. They were so big, I was so skinny, I was so tall.
And into the women they've become. Be inspired by their transformation and their stories.
I had to take Mama Nakaunde and Dr. Bossa at home.
Super Soul Sisters, only on UBC TV.
Coming soon on UBC.
Welcome to Inside Broadcasting.
Sharing with you the process behind what you see on the screens.
My name is Lorene Masika Kazimoto.
Step behind the scenes and witness the magic that brings your daily broadcasts to life.
That's why I come out openly to actually tell you that I'm an investigative journalist. That even when you see me here, I'm actually investigating you guys. So you should be aware about that.
Experience the hustle, the heart, and the human stories of our on and off-air staff.
I see my phone ringing and I'm like, ooh, which number is this? I hear the president on the other line.
The President of the Republic of Uganda.
Of Uganda, yes.
Be inspired, amazed, and part of the journey that powers Uganda's most captivating TV and radio moments.
Because good broadcast comes down to an individual. They should be artistic.
This is Inside Broadcasting.
Inside Broadcasting.
Inside Broadcasting with Makwadula.
Coming soon on UBC. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This year, 2023-2024, is coming to a close. I welcome you to the Rotary Moment Show, but tonight's show is about transition of leadership from Governor Edward to Governor Anne Nkutu, from one theme, and that is the create hope in the world, to the next theme, which is the magic of Rotary. Here at the Rotary Moment Show tonight, we are going to show you the achievements and those different activities that Governor Edward has done throughout the year. The beautiful young boys that he has seen and handed over to educate, and to the different institutions. His trip to the Toro Kingdom when they pledged to work with him. His launch when he launched the boy uplifting program in July last year, and he made a few commitments which we see today he has achieved. We shall hear him tonight speak about the achievements that he has had throughout the year. We are also going to hear District Governor Anne Nkutu tell us what she's going to do in her year. Now, it is a beautiful leadership path because it's only 1 year, and in that 1 year, Governor Edward has managed to bring a project to life that nobody has ever done, and that's the boy uplifting program here in Uganda, thinking about the boys. He keeps saying us the girls are very strong, but he needed time to give the boy child. The boy child uplifting program is going to go on for the next 5 years. The next governors are going to make sure that this continues. So it started with him, and he has achieved a lot. This governor has also achieved a lot when it comes to the Rotary Foundation. He has collected over $600,000 US. Now, $600,000 US is a lot of money. What does that mean? I've always explained here that when you give 600,000, you multiply that by 3, and that is the money that they'll bring back to Uganda for us to utilize in this district. Now, I want to bring a Rotary moment for you here. If District 9213 has 600,050, and District 9214 has 590. If we combine that to 1.2, you will multiply that 1.2 times 3, which means you'll get about 3.6 million US dollars. That is going to be brought back into Uganda for our projects to work with and to be able to support our different projects in the Uganda Rotary, which is the 129 Rotary clubs and the 102 clubs that are in 9214. But what does that mean? It means that when we put in, we have somebody who supports us and matches us and increases the money. Welcome to the Rotary Moment Show, and this is the wrap-up of Governor Edward Kakembo Nsubuga.
Right now, I would like to invite our District Governor, Edward Kakembo Nsubuga, to address you.
Good morning, friends. You are most welcome. Thanks so much for keeping time. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome my successor, our District Governor, come 1st July, Anne Nkutu. I also want to recognize Governor Wato DRR, Emmanuel Rukera. I want to recognize this Governor nominee, Geoffrey Chitakule. We have this Governor nominee designate, that's Gerard Obai. He comes from Ugulu. He says he comes from heaven. We have the young DRRE, who become DR on 1st July. The name of this person is Simeo Sebukulu. Our Lieutenant Governor, David Nsubuga. Our Prime Chair, this Rotary, Phyllis Kwesiga, will become the Executive Secretary come 1st July. Thanks so much, colleagues, for being here. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of all Rotarians in District 9213 to thank you so much for the support you have accorded us this Rotary year. It has been a terrific journey. We've been up and down, in all parts of Uganda. So I want to thank all the Rotarians for all the immense support you have accorded to us. Today, we are here to hand over officially the office. You know, for us in Rotary, we serve for only 1 year. We don't have Risanja. So we are here officially to hand over the office to the incoming team captain and to give you a few things that we've been able to do. I want to recognize and thank DRR Emma for the wonderful collaboration we've had in this Rotary with the tractors. We've really cemented it to another level. So Emma, I want to thank you so much for all the support. I also want to thank all the Council of Governors. The governors have been very, very, very supportive. So I want to thank them for being very supportive, and also to request them also to do the same with the incoming team captain. I want to thank my operator president. These have been so special. They've been so special. Operator president, wherever they are, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for all the support. You really lived the theme of the year. The theme of the year, friends, has been a great hope in the world. And indeed, these men and women are really created a hope in the world. I want to thank all the district officials, the assistant governors, district secretaries, the district officials, assistant governors, PIME team, and the wonderful discount team. I want to thank them so much. You know, it's teamwork. It's teamwork. Without them, I wouldn't have been here. So I want to thank all of them, wherever they are. That I'm so grateful. I'm very proud of them. I'm so grateful. A few things that we've been able to do this Rotary year. I'm glad to announce that this 9213 is now an all-giving district at Rotary Foundation. That has been a milestone. For the first time in our district, we are now all-giving district. I also want to thank and congratulate DRR Emma for the first time in our district. Your tractors, they have raised over $24,000 US. Emma, I congratulate you. Membership, Emma is doing wonders. So far is at 19 clubs. So Emma, I really congratulate you. On membership, we've been able, as a district, we've been able to have 11 clubs being chartered by Rotary International. So I want to thank they call them DMC, District Membership Committee, Chair and the team, Paul Nampala and the team. Thank you so much. I also want to announce that we've been able to surpass our target for the Rotary Foundation. Rotary International gave us a target of $400,000 US. As I speak now, when I last checked last night, we are at $648,000 US. Again, I want to thank all the Rotarians in Uganda, because, friends, you agree with me that the economy is hitting, is biting hard. Actually, I've been finding it hard to ask for money from people, but I had no choice. So I want to thank all the Rotarians who have really supported the Rotary Foundation, because without that foundation, we cannot be. It's that foundation where we go through to ensure that we create hope in the world, we serve humanity, and serve above self. I also want to thank Carol, our media coordinator for the district. Has been very supportive, and also for arranging this event for today. One of the things we've been able to do, been able also to reorganize our intellect clubs, because intellect are so important to us. We want to nurture those people at that tender age, such that by the time they go through intellect, then to go through Rotary, and then go through Rotary. So this year we've been able to mobilize them, have them registered, and have them their contacts. And we have a team of 3 people who have been coordinating this, and I hope Governor Anna will submit that, so that we could go further to ensure that we track them wherever they go. As I speak now, our Rotary home, the transfer forms are Ministry of Lands. I believe that next week that land will be the name of Rotary Uganda, and that land belongs to 2 districts, 9213 and 9214. So I want to thank PAG Frederick Mubiru, who has been at the forefront of this to ensure that we achieve this. Among the things we've also been able to do, come 1st July, we shall go paperless. Our Rotary office is going to be fully automated. One time I was in Igulu, they sent me about 7 books on the bus to sign, and it was tedious. Then put sign and then we put it back. So I said no. The incoming governor who's coming is to ensure that we have all this hassle. So 1st July, we shall be fully automated, and Governor Anna, I wish you the best of luck. Those are the few things we've been able to do. We did a lot of things. Of course, there has been teamwork, a few things here and there, but I want to thank the team who have been very, very, very supportive. One of the things also been to those to, I've been trying to this Rotary. I said I'm going to profile clubs from up country, because they do a lot of projects. And they are trying that they don't tell their story, so people don't know what they do. So this year we try to profile clubs from northern Uganda, up-country clubs, northern Uganda, eastern Uganda, Midwestern. So I think that one also has been a positive on our side. One of the things I'm going to appeal to all the Rotarians in this 913 as we